Ezekiel chapter 43. The man brought me to the east gate. Oh, the bright glory of the God of Israel rivered out of the east, sounding like the roar of flood waters, and the earth itself glowed with the bright glory. It looked just like what I had seen when he came to destroy the city, exactly what I had seen earlier at the Kabar River. And again I fell, face to the ground. The bright glory of God poured into the temple through the east gate. The Spirit put me on my feet and led me to the inside courtyard. And oh, the bright glory of God filled the temple. I heard someone speaking to me from inside the temple while the man stood beside me. He said, "Son of man, this is the place for my throne, the place I'll plant my feet. This is the place where I'll live with the Israelites forever. Neither the people of Israel nor their kings will ever again drag my holy name through the mud with their whoring and the no-God idols their kings set up at all the wayside shrines. When they set up their worship shrines right alongside mine, with only a thin wall between them, they dragged my holy name through the mud with their obscene and vile worship. Is it any wonder what I destroyed them in anger? So let them get rid of their whoring ways and the stinking no-God idols introduced by their kings, and I'll move in and live with them forever. Son of man, tell the people of Israel all about the temple, so they'll be dismayed by their wayward lives. Get them to go over the layout that will bring them up short. Show them the whole plan of the temple, its ins and outs, the proportions, the regulations, and the laws. Draw pictures so they can see the design and meaning, and live by its design and intent. This is the law of the temple. As it radiates from the top of the mountain, everything around it becomes holy ground. Yes, this is law, the meaning of the temple. These are the dimensions of the altar using the long 21-inch ruler. The gutter at its base is 21 inches deep and 21 inches wide, with a 4-inch lip around its edge. The height of the altar is 3.5 feet from the base to the first ledge and 20 inches wide from the first ledge to the second ledge. It is 7 feet high and 21 inches wide. The altar hearth is another 7 feet high. 4 horns stick upward from the hearth, 21 inches high. The top of the altar, the hearth, is square, 21 by 21 feet. The upper ledge is also square, 24.5 feet on each side, with a 10.5-inch lip and a 21-inch wide gutter all the way round. The steps of the altar ascend from the east. Then the man said to me, "Son of man, God the Master says, these are the ordinances for conduct at the altar when it is built, for sacrificing burnt offerings and sprinkling blood on it. For a sin offering, give a bull to the priests, the Levitical priests, who are from the family of Zadok, who come into my presence to serve me. Take some of its blood and smear it on the 4 horns of the altar that project from the 4 corners of the top ledge and all around the lip. That's to purify the altar and make it fit for the sacrifice. Then take the bull for the sin offerings and burn it in the place set aside for this in the courtyard outside the sanctuary. On the second day, offer a male goat without blemish for a sin offering. Purify the altar the same as you purified it for the bull. Then when you have purified it, offer a bull without blemish and a ram without blemish from the flock. Present them before God. Sprinkle salt on them and offer them as a burnt offering to God. For 7 days, prepare a goat for a sin offering daily, and also a bull and a ram from the flock, animals without blemish. For 7 days, the priests are to get the altar ready for its work, purifying it. This is how you dedicate it. After these 7 days of dedication, from the 8th day on, the priest will present your burnt offerings and your peace offerings, and I'll accept you with pleasure, with delight. Decree of God, the Master. Ezekiel chapter 44. Then the man brought me back to the outside gate complex of the sanctuary that faces east, but it was shut. God spoke to me. This gate is shut, and it's to stay shut. No one is to go through it because God, the God of Israel, has gone through it. It stays shut. Only the prince, because he's the prince, may sit there to eat in the presence of God. He is to enter the gate complex through the porch and leave by the same way. The man led me through the north gate to the front of the temple. I looked, and oh, the bright glory of God filling the temple of God. I fell on my face in worship. God said to me, "Son of man, get a grip on yourself. Use your eyes, use your ears. Pay careful attention to everything I tell you about the ordinances of this temple of God, the way all the laws work, instructions regarding it, and all the entrances and exits of the sanctuary. Tell this bunch of rebels, this family Israel, message of God, the Master, no more of these vile obscenities. Israel dragging irreverent and unrepentant outsiders, uncircumcised in heart and flesh, unto my sanctuary, feeding them the sacrificial offerings as if it were the food for a neighborhood picnic. With all your vile obscenities, you've broken trust with me, the solemn covenant I made with you. You haven't taken care of my holy things. You've hired out the work to foreigners who care nothing for this place, my sanctuary. No irreverent and unrepentant aliens, uncircumcised in heart or flesh, not even the ones who live among Israelites, are to enter my sanctuary. The Levites who walked off and left me, along with everyone else, all Israel who took up with all the no-God idols, will pay for everything they did wrong. From now on, they'll do only the menial work in the sanctuary, guard the gates, and help out with the temple chores, and also kill the sacrificial animals for the people and serve them. Because they acted as priests to the no-God idols and made my people Israel stumble and fall, I've taken an oath to punish them. Decree of God, the Master. Yes, they'll pay for what they've done. They're fired from the priesthood. No longer will they come into my presence and take care of my holy things. No more access to the holy place. They'll have to live with what they've done, carry the shame of their vile and obscene lives. From now on, their job is to sweep up and run errands. That's it. But the Levitical priests who descend from Zadok, who faithfully take care of my sanctuary when everyone else went off and left me, are going to come into my presence and serve me. They are going to carry out the priestly work of offering the solemn sacrifices of worship. Decree of God, the Master. They're the only ones permitted to enter my sanctuary. They're the only ones to approach my table and serve me, accompanying me in my work. When they enter the gate complex of the inside courtyard, they are to dress in linen. No woolens are to be worn while serving at the gate complex of the inside courtyard or inside the temple itself. They're to wear linen turbans on their heads and linen underclothes, nothing that makes them sweat. When they go out into the outside courtyard where the people gather, they must first change out of the clothes they have been serving in, leaving them in the sacred rooms where they change to their everyday clothes, so that they don't trivialize their holy work by the way they dress. They are to neither shave their heads nor let their hair become unkempt, but must keep their hair trimmed and neat. No priest is to drink on the job, no wine while in the inside courtyard. Priests are not to marry widows or divorcees, but only Israelite virgins or widows of priests. Their job is to teach my people the difference between the holy and the common, to show them how to discern between unclean and clean. When there's a difference of opinion, the priests will arbitrate. They'll decide on the basis of my judgments, laws, and statutes. They are in charge of making sure the appointed feasts are honored and my Sabbaths kept holy in the ways I've commanded. A priest must not contaminate himself by going near a corpse. But when the dead person is his father or mother, son or daughter, brother or unmarried sister, he can approach the dead. But after he has been purified, he must wait another 7 days. Then when he returns to the inside courtyard of the sanctuary to do his priestly work in the sanctuary, he must first offer a sin offering for himself. Decree of God the Master. As to priests owning land, I am their inheritance. Don't give any land in Israel to them. I am their land, their inheritance. They'll take their meals from the grain offerings, the sin offerings, and the guilt offerings. Everything in Israel offered to God in worship is theirs. The best of everything grown, plus all special gifts, comes to the priests. All that is given in worship to God goes to them. Serve them first. Serve from your best, and your home will be blessed. Priests are not to eat any meat from bird or animal unfit for ordinary human consumption, such as carcasses found dead on the road or in the field. Amen.